Stampers. My name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Denver, Colorado. I'm so glad you could join me this afternoon. I have for you a card that is in the fall theme, and it has a minimal sentiment, so it really could be used for anything. So let's just get started. Okay, here is my card. I'm using some of that wonderful paper called the Gilded Autumn Specialty Designer Series paper, and I've made a couple of cards from this paper. It's really beautiful. It has so many pretty motifs, and this is the paper that I used this time. There's a few little pieces to make this card. I have a very vanilla base that is 8.5 by 5.5 scored and folded at 4 1/4. Then I have my piece of designer series paper here, and I've already cut out a couple of pieces on it, but this piece of paper was 4 by 5 1/4 to start, and that's the piece that's getting layered on the front. And then on the inside I have a piece of Cajun Craze designer series paper, 4 by 5 1/4, and then I have another piece of very vanilla that's cut 4 3/4 by 5 to layer on the inside. Then to make this card, I used my little autumn punch pack that I've used in a couple of these fall cards so far, and I've made myself a whole bunch of pieces cut from that and the sprig punch and the leaf punch, and I've done it in copper and Cajun Crazed and pumpkin pie and mango melody, and I think that I use cinnamon cider for some, and soft suede for some, and early espresso. So what I did was I just cut a bunch of those little pieces from all kinds of different papers here. And whatever you cut in whatever fall colors you love would be great. In fact, you can use purples. This is one where Blackberry Bliss is absolutely stunning as well, and Mary Merlot. There's all different kinds of colors that one can use. Anyway, that is what I did to create my little bag of goodies here. And I've used this, I had cut actually quite a few, and I finally had to cut a few more because I've been using them on various cards, and it's really kind of fun to have a few of them already cut up and ready to go, and then you can just sit down and create, and it doesn't take much time. Okay, so for this I used my nested, what are these called? These are called stitched nested label dies. And I used not the smallest, but let's see, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th from the smallest. And this one here is the one I used to cut out my very vanilla label to do my stamping. And then I cut out my piece of designer series paper from here for this piece, and then I used the larger one on a scrap of early espresso to get this piece out. And then you need another small piece of early espresso to go behind this little window that I made here. And the inside is pretty simple. I've just used the 2 ribbons and the 2 pieces of cardstock to match. Now you could put a piece of this beautiful designer series paper inside there, but I thought bringing the ribbons in was close enough. Okay, so let me tell you exactly what I did to make this card. I'm working first on my piece of designer series paper, and I cut this piece out, a little bit higher than middle and just off the edge of this piece of designer series paper. And then what I'm going to do is put some snail on the back side of this paper, and the seal worked beautifully for this. This little piece strip here is a little narrow, and once I have that piece cut, what I'm going to do is lay this piece of early espresso right over the top of that, so I create that dark surface. And I'm using my silicone mat because this is now a little sticky in a couple of places, and I don't want that sticking to my work surface. All right, these pieces I layered one on top of the other. So again, I'll need to put some seal on the back of this piece and layer that onto my early espresso backing mat. And there we go. Now then, I did use a few dimensionals on the back of this piece to put down here. All right, this piece is now ready to go down here, and what I did was I raised it up and offset it from this little piece that I used as a cutout. I thought that made this just a little bit more interesting. And then the only stamping we have to do is this little hello there, and I thought what one could do is with the hello there on the inside it could say have a great birthday, or I hope you're feeling better soon, or you're on my mind, I've been thinking about you. It could be anything. And I like cards like that because I never know sometimes how I'm going to use them. So the only stamping that we have to do is this little hello there, and I'm using my early espresso ink, and I'm going to put my hello there right here, part way down from the top so it's not crowded up there. And then this paper, or this ribbon, came in a 2-pack, and it came in the basket weave and metallic ribbon combo pack. But look at this ribbon. It's absolutely a perfect match for this. Now, if I were to use it that way, it would just disappear on the card. So what I did was I put down and used my dot runner to add a little glue to the back of this ribbon. And then right down here, I put one piece of this early espresso ribbon. It is so pretty, and it really does look like suede. In fact, that's, I think, what they call it. They call it faux suede trim. Yes, and it's really pretty stuff. Okay, so I did one piece. Then I decided that I wanted a second piece. I wanted to look a little fuller. So I took my, I got things sticking to things. So I took this piece and I laid it right up against the first piece, just kind of butted it up against the edge of that piece of ribbon and secured that back around the back side. There we go, just like that. Then I took a sliver of this ribbon and put it across that seam, and now that looks like just a wider piece of the brown ribbon. So I think that's all the stamping we need to do, so I'm going to put that ink away before I put my sleeve in it. Okay, so on here, same thing, I'm going to add some snail to the back side of that ribbon and put it in place across the seam, and then just secure this ribbon behind the back of this piece of designer series paper. Now I've created the illusion of my brown ribbon being quite a bit bigger. All right, now I'm going to add my seal to the back of my card. Okay, now this piece is ready to go on my card front. This, because we're using the designer series paper to do most of the heavy lifting on this card, is really pretty simple and pretty fast. But I think this would make a great masculine birthday card. It would be a great Thanksgiving card, a happy fall card. I mean, there's all kinds of things that one can do with this. Now I'm going to add some seal to the back of my stamped sentiment here, and I'm going to set that in place here. Now comes the fun part. We're just going to take these little pieces that have been cut and start to put together something that is decorative on here. And I have a pretty good idea what I want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting these in place. I'm putting a copper sprig there, and then I'm going to put a second copper sprig underneath here and angled up. And that way I get that copper kind of spread across the card. Then I have one that I cut that is in Cajun Craze, and I thought that one kind of going right across the center there looks pretty good. Then it's a matter of what makes your eye move in the direction that you want. These two acorns together with the copper and the dark brown, I think look great together. So I'm just going to put a little bit of snail on both of these, and I think I'm going to layer them on top of each other and put them right down here. Now I'm just going to take a minute and add many leaves here, and I will be back in a flash. There, I think that is enough. And it looks like I have enough leaves for maybe another project. And you saw that some of those I laid flat, and some of them I put up on a little dimensional. And I think that just adds some texture and depth to the card. Now I'm going to take this little copper ribbon and make a pretty small bow to stick on the front and kind of anchor some of those leaves on that sentiment piece. And I'm going to use a glue dot on the back side of my bow and put that in place right here and sort of anchor those leaves right under my sentiment. And isn't that just pretty? I love the combination of the colors and this paper, and I was thinking that it might need a piece of bling, but this would work, I suppose. And that is from our Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels, these that are supposed to be pumpkin pie, and that does work. Okay, so I am going to put just one right up here to add just a touch of more bling. So I think I'm going to add my other one on here as well. And there we go. All right. I feel better. I put bling on my card. Okay. So the inside of this card has this piece, which is 4 by 5 1/4. That looks a little bigger than that to me. I think I need to trim that down. I've got my piece of that, and then I've got my very vanilla piece here to go on the front of this card. And on this one, I just had the ribbon going around the cream, or the very vanilla. I think I'm going to have it go across the whole card. So I'm going to need a piece, about that long, just long enough to go across the card. Let me glue these two pieces together first. Now then, I'm going to add a little bit of my dot runner on the back of the ribbon and put that in place right here along the edge of the card and anchor that on the back. I cut that piece a little bit big. It's all right. All right, and then next I'm going to take a length of this ribbon, see if I can cut that a little bit more like it's supposed to be. And I'm going to set this ribbon down right next to it, I think on the outside on this one. And I'm going to add a little bit of dot runner to the back of the ribbon. And somebody asked me the other day why I use the dot runner on the ribbon, and it's because the glue on this, it's a Tombow dots adhesive, and the thing is that because the glue isn't continuous, it has a tendency to be a lot less messy and forgiving on things like intricate dies and ribbon, and yet it holds things in place pretty securely. That's now a little bit too short on that end, so let me make that adjustment. There we go, that's more like it. And then anchor, I'm going to add some more glue back here and then anchor that ribbon right down on that glue surface there. All right, that's all ready to go now onto the inside of our card, and that will be our project complete. Now then, like I said, I think this is a pretty versatile card, can be used for lots of different kinds of sentiments, and so I like leaving mine that way, or I make a lot of them that are just note cards, and then I'll add my happy birthday or thinking of you or whatever I need when I'm ready to give the card out. Okay, so here we go. And our card and project is complete. There we go. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do so appreciate it. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Or you could join my team. We've got a special going on right now that's a good join offer, particularly if you have ever thought about joining and maybe wanting to, you don't have to make videos, but you might want to hold a card class from time to time and bring in a little money so that your customers or your card class participants would be chipping in, so to speak, on your buying your supplies. And when you're a new Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you start out with a 20% discount. It's a pretty good deal. And I do a lot of coaching with my team to help them achieve whatever it is they want to achieve by being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So it's $125 worth of product for $99, and they don't direct that at all. You can have that be anything you want. Then for the join offer, what they're giving you is the cardstock and materials to make 16 cards. So you could have your own card class. And you're getting 2 stamp sets for free. One of them is the Queen Anne, and the other one is, I'm not remembering. I'll put it on the video for you. So there's 2 stamp sets that you get, and then all of the cardstock to make 4 each of 4 different designs, so 16 cards, and a package of rhinestones. And you get the card pieces and the envelopes, everything you need to make the cards. So I'd say it's about $50 worth of stuff that you're getting, plus the link to the video that shows you how to do the recipes for the cards and so on and so forth. And so that is the join offer through the month of September. And if you've ever thought about joining and you'd like to chat about it, please give me a call. I'd love to just explain it to you and talk about it. Being a demonstrator isn't for everybody, but if you're curious about it, there's no pressure, and I'd love to talk to you. All right, so this is September now, and my monthly September prize draw is the Poinsettia Petals Bundle, the stamp set and the dies. So all you have to do to get yourself into my drawing is to put an order of any size on my store, lbedinger.stampinup.net, and you can get to it through my blog, www.inkandingenuity.com. And if you subscribe to my channel and click the little bell, then you'll be notified every time I put up a video, and you'll never miss one. So that's it for me today. I'll be back soon with more cards, more projects, and more tips. Bye.